Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed with all of the different content we provide here on the channel. So we are diving into a Terra Luna Classic update, and what we do know is the wheels of motion are going to begin to start turning, and this is going to leave us in a situation where we're going to see a substantial amount of burns, and this I believe is going to start happening anytime from September 19th onwards if TFL is approved during this planned hearing. But to understand what we're talking about and how we've become so dead set on the idea of seeing so many coins burn, we need to go back so you can understand what you may have missed.
Well, how do we know if they destroy their keys? Which is rational. That's a reasonable thing. One of the things we did is I went back and just checked with the attorneys, like, can we just burn the LUNC and the UST as well? And it turns out that we can. So what I do understand is that there is a list of wallets that's been published, but they're like partially redacted. So you can at least see like how many wallets we have, and you can kind of cross check against that.
That was the CEO of TFL giving us confirmation on multiple fronts, and those fronts being the burning of different assets and not destroying the private keys. We've also had confirmation that a list has been provided, but there's information that has been redacted. So this gives us very good grounds to understand exactly where we stand in this current time. So let's go over it again. We're going to see the reopening of the shuttle bridge for redemption of wrapped assets on Terra Classic. We are also going to see the undelegation and burn of 150 million Luna received from the Terra community grant. So the redemption of wrapped assets are for Terra Classic, and that undelegation and burn is for Terra Luna. They are two separate blockchains. So moving forward, we can see that TFL also intends to permanently shut down the shuttle bridge and burn any remaining assets after 30 days. Let's dive over to the documents that we have got available, and I've been doing a considerable amount of research on. So this is the first digital schedule of assets that were provided, and we can see that on the left hand side here is for January 2024 and then for February 2024. We've not had an update since then, but I do believe these numbers should be relatively the same as they were in February. So we did go in and we did a price check to see how many non-Terra Classic assets they had available and how many Terra Classic assets remained. And what we were left with were two very significant numbers. So the other list that was provided is a very intricate list. And when you take a deeper dive into this, you've got to go in and you've got to rule out a considerable amount of wallets. And it has taken me a considerable amount of time to get to this level that I'm at now. So what we can see is there is memos that are missing, and that is the specific redacted information. And if I take a scroll down, we've got three sections that are highlighted red, and we can see one of these is for the KuCoin deposit wallet, another one for the Binance deposit wallet, and another one for the Upbit deposit wallet, and then another for the Coin One deposit wallet as well. So we can see that there is 4 wallets there that do not belong. Instead, we understand that these are the redacted mentioned wallets and that there are memos missing from these. And once we have these memos, we can then define and determine exactly how much of these 2 billion LUNC assets actually belong to TFL and how much actually belong to Coin One deposit wallet. So when it comes down to the wrapped Luna bridge assets, they are not included in this list, but we have had confirmation that they're going to burn. So what you first need to understand is the first wallet in question, which is the main wallet in question, being the Terra bridge itself. But it has 2 more wallets connected to it, and 275 billion LUNC is not quite the exact amount that could be available for redemption and possible burning if people do not redeem those assets in time. So let's dive over and let's take a look at this photo that I've prepared for you, which shows us the 3 wallets that are related to using Terra Shuttle. So as we can see, we've got one for the Ethereum mainnet, one for the BSC mainnet, and one for that HMY mainnet. So this leaves us with 3 wallets in question. And like I said, they are not included in that court document list. So these wallets also hold USTC on top of holding LUNC. And if we go in and we take a quick look at the top holders here on LUNC Dash for USTC, we can see that the TerraBridge wallets in question are actually holding 7th and 16th position. This is a considerable amount of USTC that's possibly going to burn. So moving forward, if we now dive over to these 2 wallets in question, we've got a wallet ending in 8TN2 and it holds 92 million Lunar Classic and 87 million USTC, which is a considerable amount. And then if we go over to the second wallet in question that you have not been updated on here yet, it's this one here ending in 7CHK. And we can see that this wallet holds 240 million Lunar Classic and then just under 2 million USTC. So these are 2 wallets that have not been brought into question and brought into the light yet. And I've been doing intricate research on everything that we could possibly be seeing burn in these months ahead. And TFL, being specifically the CEO of TFL, stating that it could take around 3 to 4 months to get this all done. So if we go back over to this intricate list, we can see I've got some numbers here on the right hand side, giving us some total amounts of all of these numbers crunched down. What we're going to focus on here is the numbers listed in red, because these are the amounts minusing out those redacted wallets. And I think we need to go in a more safe mindset moving forward with this until we get those memos provided by TFL and we can actually determine exactly how much is in each one of those wallets that I've highlighted in red. So minusing out that CEX, we're left with 2.2 billion USTC, which is a significant amount, and we could see a lot more depending on what comes up with those memos. If we're looking at the total LUNC amount and minusing out those CEX wallets, we're left at just over 1 billion LUNC. But if we take all 3 of those shuttle bridge wallets in question and we add these numbers together, we've got significant amounts. These numbers are averaged and we've got 275 billion LUNC and 267 million USTC that we could possibly see burned, if not redeemed, through that shuttle bridge within the 30-day time frame that TFL are providing. And when we look at that amount of USTC and we start to really absorb what that number means, it means just over $250 billion LUNC. This is not a significant amount. This is an insane amount of coins. If you start to compare the percentages to if this happened over on Shiba Inu, they would be going crazy. And the reason why Shiba Inu maintains such a high position in the top 100 cryptos is because they prominently push their burning initiative always. It's what they rely on, it's what their future depends on, and they embrace it. And what I think is if we embrace the burning more here over on Lunar Classic, we're probably going to start to attract a lot of people that are involved with the Shiba Inu community because of a simple fact: we're going to burn through our coins long before they've burnt through their coins. And if they built up a substantial community based on that, think about how big Lunar Classic could be in the future. So this wallet list, I have made it available once. I'm going to make this updated version available again for anybody who wants access to it. And it's available on my Patreon. You don't need to pay for it. You can just go there, sign up, and just get it for free. There's absolutely no catches to get it. It's just easy for me to put it on there on the server, and it makes it very easily accessible to people like you. So these 2 total numbers here in purple are this entire list added up. But do remember, like I stated, there's wallets in here for specifically that we do not have the memos for, and they are required in order for us to determine exactly how much is going to burn. And what everybody needs to understand is, outside of these shuttle wallets that are listed here, all of these assets burn, as stated by Chris Armani, the CEO of TFL. If this does not make you bullish, then I think this next little bit here at the end may kick you over the line. During the BTC Turk hack, many coins were subject to this situation that was in hand. None of those coins were delisted, but Luna Classic was. We have not heard a whisper from any Luna Classic holders that can't access their money or couldn't access their funds or that did significant amounts of trading on BTC Turk. So with that being said, it leaves us with a very peculiar situation as to how many more coins are floating about that TFL may have or not have access to. And what I think about is the hard fork that was proposed by Do Kwon and then shut down by CZ Binance and prominent validators in the Terra Luna ecosystem at the time. The hard fork was then proposed for a second time and the vote was swayed. We all watched it happen. Now, the only way to sway voting on this blockchain, as you know, is to have a substantial amount of voting power. Voting power equates out into Luna Classic coins. So this means inherently they probably minted a lot more coins. And we could see many more wallets added to this list. Instead of seeing them added publicly, we're going to see them added in a manner where we see them torched. We see them show up on the burn metric systems, on the Finder, and on LUNC Dash. And this is going to give us the ability, as Chris, the CEO of TFL, stated, to know which wallets were associated with TFL during the crash. So all of the answers are always going to come out in the wash. And I said this to everybody at the very beginning of covering this whole debacle, that eventually we would reach a point when it would start to ease up. We would start to get the answers and things would come out in the wash. And we're starting to see that. Am I sad that we lost BTC Turk? No. Am I sad that we lost eToro? No. The only things that matter in this blockchain is you, the community. The developers can develop all they want. The validators can bicker as much as they like. Projects can bleed over their projects and push them as hard as they like. But without you, the community, supporting each and every one of those validators, projects, and developers, this chain's nothing. And it would be nothing. And I think that is a strong fact to end this video on. I hope this gives you a really good perspective as to what is coming up in the future and just how many coins we're going to see burn. It's not something I don't think we could put our finger on definitively and say this is the exact number that's going to burn, because we just don't know. But what we know for certain is we're going to see crazy level burns, and along with those burns we're going to see a lot of coins being moved, and ones that do not burn, for example the LFG reserves, they could be moved a few times before they reach their final destination. And TFL themselves have stated they're going to be moving the whole wrapped Luna wallet to a new, safer, secure wallet under their control. Well, those all equate out into transactions, and with our burn tax being so significantly low, it leaves us in a situation where we're not really getting the full benefit of this bull run. Whales, CX, projects, big players in the space are going to be moving their assets regardless of gas, tax, transaction fees, whatever. They will make their moves in order to take profit or to get to the endpoint they're trying to achieve. And we should try to benefit from that as much as possible. We're very fortunate that on this blockchain, you can just move the burn tax up and down with a simple proposal. And this does leave us in a position where if it turns out it wasn't a good idea, you can always go back. But I don't want us to ever be in positions where we sat there and did nothing. That's never a good thing to do. We should always be reactive when the situation arises. So if you like the content here, like I was saying at the beginning, drop a like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And aside that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I'll catch you in the next one.